South Africa's political landscape in Gauteng has been thrown into sharp focus after a decisive court ruling that could shape the balance of power in Johannesburg's governing structures. The Gauteng High Court has dismissed an urgent legal challenge against the election of Loyiso Masuku, effectively reaffirming his position as the African National Congress regional chairperson in Greater Johannesburg. The case was brought by a former special advisor to Johannesburg Mayor Dada Morero, who sought to overturn Masuku's election, raising concerns about internal processes and the legitimacy of the regional conference outcome. But in a firm judgment, the court ruled against the application, finding no sufficient grounds to intervene in the ANC's internal electoral processes. This ruling is more than just a legal victory for Masuku. It is a politically significant moment for the African National Congress, particularly in Gauteng, where the party has faced growing electoral pressure in recent years. Here's what that means for South Africans. The ANC's regional leadership structures play a critical role in shaping governance at municipal level, especially in economic hubs like Johannesburg. The regional chairperson is not just a party figure, it is a position that influences coalition negotiations, policy direction, and leadership stability within the metro. Masuku's reaffirmation therefore strengthens continuity within the ANC's Johannesburg structures at a time when political instability has become a defining feature of local government. The legal challenge itself reflects deeper tensions within the party. Internal disputes over leadership positions are not uncommon in South African politics, but analysts say the increasing frequency of court battles signals a shift towards judicial intervention in political contests. Political observers note that factions within the ANC often use legal avenues to resolve disputes that would traditionally be handled internally. An independent political analyst explains, "What we are seeing is a growing reliance on the courts to settle internal political disagreements. While this strengthens accountability, it also exposes divisions within parties, especially ahead of critical elections." The timing of this case is particularly important. South Africa is moving closer to the 2026 local government elections, and Gauteng remains one of the most contested provinces in the country. In recent elections, the ANC has lost its outright majority in several key municipalities, including Johannesburg, forcing it into complex coalition arrangements. Experts warn that internal instability could weaken the party's ability to campaign effectively. However, this court ruling may provide a degree of stability, at least in the short term. Opposition parties have also been watching developments closely. Coalition politics in Johannesburg has been marked by frequent leadership changes, shifting alliances, and governance challenges. A stable ANC regional leadership could influence future coalition negotiations and potentially reshape political dynamics in the city. Opposition leaders argue that internal ANC battles highlight governance weaknesses. But ANC supporters maintain that resolving disputes through legal and constitutional processes demonstrates institutional maturity. Let's take a closer look at the broader implications. First, the ruling reinforces the principle that political parties have autonomy in managing their internal affairs, unless there is clear evidence of procedural unfairness. Second, it highlights the judiciary's role as a neutral arbiter in politically sensitive disputes. And third, it underscores the high stakes of regional leadership positions in South Africa's political system. Experts warn that while the court decision settles the immediate dispute, underlying factional tensions may persist. A court ruling can resolve a legal issue, but it doesn't always resolve political divisions, one analyst notes. This means the ANC may still need to address internal cohesion if it hopes to strengthen its position ahead of upcoming elections. For Johannesburg residents, the stakes are even more direct. Stability within the ruling party can impact service delivery, infrastructure projects, and economic development in the city. Here's what that means for everyday South Africans. A more stable political environment could improve decision-making and governance efficiency, but continued internal disputes could have the opposite effect, leading to delays and uncertainty. Meanwhile, Mayor Dada Morero and his administration remain under pressure to deliver on key priorities, including service delivery, financial stability, and urban management. The outcome of this case may influence political relations within the Metro Council, particularly as different factions position themselves ahead of future leadership contests. In the bigger picture, this case reflects a broader trend in South African politics, where legal processes, internal party dynamics, and electoral competition are increasingly intertwined. As the country approaches another crucial election cycle, these dynamics are likely to intensify. In conclusion, the Gauteng High Court's decision to dismiss the challenge against Loyiso Masuku is not just a legal outcome, it is a political signal. It reinforces the ANC's current leadership structure in Johannesburg, provides short-term stability, and sets the stage for future political battles. But questions remain about internal unity, electoral strength, and governance effectiveness. South Africans will be watching closely to see whether this ruling marks a turning point or simply a pause in ongoing political contestation.